Hey everyone, and welcome to episode 25 of Video Games Ahoy. My name is Jonathan Radford, and today I'm joined by Daf Gape.
Hello.
And Zach Hamilton.
Hello.
Yeah, how are you doing, guys?
I'm getting hyped up again.
Episode 25.
Yeah. I'm very lucky to have my name get said last, because every time I get the
you get the
boxing ring ending.
Zach
Ladies
Hamilton.
Oh no, it's the X Factor thing, right?
Yeah, that is. Yeah, it does kind of feel like Zach Hamilton. Oh yeah, it's just like, oh, Zach Hamilton. I mean, I was just thinking when I was saying your name, you'd have like, if you wanted to branch off into being like a solo singer superstar, you could be Zach Hamilton.
Oh, that's good. I like that. That's really good.
Dab does not approve. I can assure you of that right now.
No.
But yeah, how have you been, guys? How's your weekend been?
Good, man. I've been gaming aplenty. How are you? What have you been up to this weekend, Johnny?
Well, I was gaming aplenty for a short period.
No, you weren't, liar.
No, I got married. It was,
Woo!
It was. Do you know what? I've got to tell the story. So really quickly, it was supposed to be raining all day Saturday, and it genuinely supposed to be raining all day Saturday. We'd come to terms with that. It wasn't really a problem, but it stopped raining the moment I left my house, and started raining the moment we drove off in the car away from the church. So for the entire time we were actually able to get married, have photos outside with the church, and leave, and it just wasn't raining. It was honestly like, considering the circumstances, it was like it was genuinely the best day.
That's awesome.
It was great. It was.
Are you wearing? Did I just see your ring there for a second?
I've got a ring.
Oh yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah, it's. So for those of you who can't see, it's if you can see, this is my ring. It's on the wrong hand right now because I recently lost a stone in weight, and it slips off my finger way too easily. So I had to put it on my right hand because my right hand, for whatever reason, is fatter than my left hand.
Famously so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at that. It just comes straight off.
Just comes straight
off. So I've got to get it resized. But for now, it's okay on my right hand. But
if you're looking for that stone you lost, I think I found it.
Hey.
Well, to give you an idea, it kind of, when I bought it, I liked it because it's Welsh gold. It's so yeah. It's
Welsh gold.
Yeah, it was something nice. It wasn't that expensive because it was like half price, so it really wasn't that expensive. But every time I look at it now, I've been watching a lot of like Lord of the Rings stuff recently. It just looks like the One Ring now. That's all I'm seeing.
Oh, cool.
So
every man's dream wedding.
I'm loving that.
Women.
I mean, to be fair, we actually played Concerning Hobbits as we were signing the register because it's that. And I tried to convince Rosie, and I did convince Rosie, and in the end she was even like, yeah, it was the right call, that I will be able to convince other people there who don't know Lord of the Rings that it's just like really nice strings.
Oh yeah. Anyone who knows as well is probably, if they know it, then they're a fan of Lord of the Rings, so they won't mind. Anyone else just doesn't know.
Well, my brother was like, that's awesome. And Rosie's mum was like, "Oh, this is beautiful music," and I was like,
"Yeah, of course, it's beautiful music."
Yeah, it's great. But yeah, that was my weekend. I've got some other stuff to talk about in a little bit with regards to gaming recently. I know Dav is very excited to talk about one thing that I've bought today.
I'm very hyped for you because we've been talking about this for ages. I feel like since we started the podcast, you were like, "I want one of these, but I'm not going to get one."
I'll come on to that later.
Come back to it.
Yeah, when it comes to games and stuff I've been playing, I'm very excited because I like 2 days ago I spoke to you, and like I've been telling Dav like recently that I'm very hyped to be playing this. So we'll talk about that in a little bit. But let's just get into the podcast, and we're just going to talk about who we are, what we do. If you are new to the channel. We have Video Games Ahoy. We have some lovely patrons over on Patreon. So to everyone that contributes, it's Patreon now. It is always going to be. To everyone that contributes, thank you. We love you very much. I'm going to keep saying this every week, just because we do. I'm always really grateful to, like, whenever I go over there and I look, I'm like, man, these people are supporting us. It is really great, and we really do appreciate it. And if you would like to support us, then that's amazing. Go over, check us out. Like I said, we have Video Games Ahoy. You can pay £1, £5, £10, or anything you'd like. And if you don't want to or you can't, again, I mentioned this at the start. If anyone would like to, we don't mind you just listening in. We have just put a new episode of the Video Games Ahoy Hall of Fame, and I've got to be honest, it was an absolute banger. when I was doing the editing for that, I was listening through and going, we actually have put 4 really good nominees, like good nominations forward. So I was like really chuffed about that. So if you are a patron, please go over and check it out. It's a really good watch. And we had a lot of fun doing it. As well as Patreon, you can find us on the usual websites like Twitter and Facebook. And if you want to see our faces, check us out on YouTube because we're on there too.
Can you have a look at Jonny's ring?
Yeah, I'm going to keep... That's the thing, because I'm really like... I point a lot.
You've spoiled this for me now, Dav. Every time I say Jonny's ring, it just sounds
Jonny's
awful.
ring. It's
there's another gift.
There it is. And also check us out on Twitch. We know me and Dav have been doing a lot of streaming recently. Dav more so than me, but Zach is actually going to be joining us now. Every week we've been like pushing him forward, nominating to be doing some streaming. But
this Sunday, no, this Sunday,
this Sunday,
no.
This Sunday.
We meant this Sunday.
We finally gave him my computer back, so that's something. But I still haven't figured it out because my computer is obviously doggy doo doo, not very good. But I by hook or by crook, I am starting my Last of Us permadeath run Sunday night. That is tomorrow.
Amazing.
Not for us, but for
honestly, man, I was hyped. Day after my wedding, me and Rosie sat there, waiting to watch the stream.
I'm so sorry.
That's fine. Honestly, we just had lots of cake. That's it.
No, but I would have so liked to have done it on your wedding weekend as well. I've missed out on all sorts.
Well, to be honest, our honeymoon is not actually for another 2 weeks. I mean, if it even goes ahead. But yeah, definitely check Zach out. I do feel like it's going to be a good stream, and I know a lot of people have been asking about it. So definitely check him out if you're interested in The Last of Us 2. We're also proud to say that we're affiliated. God, I got a little to talk today with Green Man Gaming. So if you have any gaming needs and want some delicious deals, then make sure you head on over to Green Man Gaming via the link in the description below.
This week I bought The Ship via Green Man Gaming. I tried it. I managed to map a controller to it and had a very interesting time. The Ship's a very fun game.
So you are saying he is saying The Ship.
Yeah, Ship with a T.
Just clap.
The Ship with a T.
All right, awesome. Let's get into the news. And I was just saying before we started, there's nothing as heavy hitting as like maybe the last 2 or 3 weeks, but there is one topic I want to talk about, and that is Steve. Minecraft Steve in Smash Bros. And Alex, yeah, Minecraft Steve and Alex are coming to Smash Brothers. So I'll just read this from Nintendo. It's a very short tweet. Oh, here goes the clock again. So Steve and Alex's Challenger Pack launches on the 13th and 14th of October, depending on where you live, and will be available for €5.39 or €5.99, or as part of the $26.99, $29.99 Fighters Pass Volume 2, which is, do you know what? I definitely am going to play Steve, just because it's, right, I'll tell you, when I saw it was Steve, I was watching it with Rosie actually, I absolutely pissed myself. I thought it was like, because I've seen some people online like absolutely mortified, and as we've learned from this podcast, Minecraft is the best-selling game of all time. Like it's not a stupid move by Nintendo. I think it's not just funny, but it's also a really interesting character to add to the collection because he's so weird and different, and
it gives you a lot of options to kind of do something a bit different with the, with the playstyle.
I mean, Sakurai said they had to rebuild every level from, like, not from scratch, but they had to redesign every level so they could use Steve's moves.
Yeah, that is.
Wow.
Yeah, to be fair, I really enjoyed Sakurai in that.
He was so funny. He's just like,
it's really funny.
Sometimes Nintendo has to come to me and be like, do this. And I go, I can say no, but if I can do it, I have to.
Yeah.
And so I did. Here it is.
And he was literally like, Dav's not joking, he was literally like this. Go and watch it if you haven't seen it.
I haven't seen that yet.
It's really funny. I haven't seen it. I know they did like his moves and his stage. I've seen clips, like pictures of them, but I haven't actually seen his moves because, like I said, I've been so busy. But I'm going to check that out after the podcast. But yeah, because our guesses were not... I didn't think our guesses were that bad. It's just none of us guessed Steve, and I don't know if any of us would have guessed Steve.
Well, he was one of those characters that was like always sort of speculated, but in a weird, bizarre sense that he was speculated.
Wouldn't it be funny if he was Steve?
Yeah, it was like Steve Minecraft or Goku, and it's like neither are happening. Shut up, just move on.
Also,
but, here we are. But Banjo though, I guess Banjo was the same. No one expected Banjo-Kazooie.
That's true.
Microsoft and Nintendo.
Why did they do Banjo-Kazooie? Because like,
I don't know. I think there was just so many people.
N64.
Yeah, I think there was just so many people that actually were like he's very active on like Twitter and stuff, and I imagine so many people must have been asking him about Banjo-Kazooie. And to be fair, if you go online and go on YouTube and you look at the reaction videos to Banjo-Kazooie, you can see that it's just unanimously positive. People just when I saw it, when I watched it live, I was like, oh my god, this is amazing. So I guess it did. Like, there's definitely been some other characters which did not get that reception. Byleth being one. Byleth. Even though I love Byleth, it's just so many people hate.
But then, so you see with Banjo-Kazooie, I mean, either it means that the main Smash players are sort of in their 20s up, and it's not a kids game, or it means that kids now have played Banjo-Kazooie. Have kids now played Banjo-Kazooie? Because I've only played Banjo-Kazooie a little bit, and it came out when I was like kind of the right age to play it.
It could be Rare Replay.
Most people that are speaking online are maybe in their 20s, but also Rare Replay. Jonny, how's Rare Replay? You played that yet?
I can't play on the PC.
I know. I was just reminding you.
Yeah, I know. It's honestly, it sucks, like, because I'm just like, why? Because I think I was someone the other day. I think it was Grant Kirkup actually. Was just like, play Rare Replay, play those old games. I was like, Grant, I haven't got an Xbox, can't play it. Just can't do it. Like, I'd love to. I really would. I would play through all of those games, but
I can't believe it's not on PC. Like, not on Game Pass, but not even on PC. It's bizarre.
It is bizarre.
Although, like, so Rare Replay, the way that we're not going to go into this. Some of the Rare Replay games are on a Game Pass, just not on PC.
Yeah. But yeah, if you are, like I said, if you are looking to play as Steve or Alex, or there was two others as well, wasn't it?
Enderman and Zombie.
There we are.
That's right.
Can I just say briefly before I continue, his entrance was hilarious as
well.
well.
Yeah, that was very funny.
So funny, so funny.
That was a good ad.
It was really,
and then he just
really
closes
great.
it up after him. And he's like, oh, there's a creeper, bye.
And again, there's so many videos I've seen online of the reaction videos where people are just crying with laughter because you can't help but laugh at it. In a good way. I feel like in a good way.
I think it's very well directed.
Yeah, it was really good, really funny. But yeah, coming out on the 13th to the 14th of October, which should be sometime next week, I think, or even today, next Wednesday, next Tuesday and Wednesday. I can do maths.
Just one thing on why I think maybe some people aren't happy. I think a lot of people don't enjoy when they bring in a character that isn't a character. It's more of an avatar that you play through.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of like Dragon Quest Hero.
Yeah.
Byleth as well. It's not really a character like Robin was in Fire Emblem Awakening. I think people get really attached to certain characters and they want to see those characters they love represented. Things like Crash Bandicoot or Master Chief's getting a lot of buzz. Obviously, that's probably not going to happen now you've got Minecraft in there as well. But I think no one really knows that Minecraft Steve is called Steve. I didn't know he was called Steve until the first rumours about him being in Smash.
Yeah, I was going to say, I only knew he was Steve because of the rumours of him being in Smash.
Like, he's not Steve. Steve was just like a default name way back when for Minecraft. So, I don't know. I can see why people might not be happy.
Yeah.
But as someone who's never played Minecraft, I'm ecstatic.
Yeah, I think that the reason why, like, because I totally agree with what you're saying there. I can completely understand if someone's like, oh, it's Steve. Like, he's not really... I don't really understand why he's there because he's not really much of a character. They would be totally right about that. I think it's just some people were like trying to like almost delegitimate. I can't even say it, but basically trying to say that Minecraft isn't worthy of it. And I'm just like that's a slippery slope because there's so many.
Hang on a second, Dav, have you not played Minecraft before?
I've
never played Minecraft. I played Minecraft Dungeons.
Oh, guys, can we play Minecraft together? It's really fun.
Oh.
Minecraft Mondays.
Yeah, Minecraft Mondays. There we are. All right, let's.
I never played Minecraft. I'm just going to say...
It's fun.
Go for it.
If they're bringing in Minecraft, they should bring in things like World of Warcraft.
Yes.
Do you think?
Ooh.
I mean, we're talking biggest games ever.
Yeah.
World of Warcraft.
Yeah, I guess so.
I think it's... Ooh, it's a weird one, isn't it? Because, like, you think... Up until Cloud was one of the weird ones in that he wasn't actually on a Nintendo console. Whereas now he is. Where I think everyone has been on a Nintendo console. Has World of Warcraft been? I think that maybe that is...
Cloud has been now.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, now he has been. But I think he was the only one that hadn't. Because even Snake has been on a Nintendo console. All right, let's move on. Because this is a bit more serious. And I think... Yeah, we'll have a bit more of a conversation about this. So, Bloomberg has been reporting that CD Projekt Red has introduced mandatory crunch. Jason Schreier has written Polish video game... so this is from Bloomberg, and this is Jason Schreier who has written this. He actually got a lot of stick online about it, so we'll talk about it, and let's have a conversation about it, but I'll just read this out first. So he wrote, Polish video game developer CD Projekt Red told employees on Monday that 6-day work weeks will be mandatory leading up to the November release of the highly anticipated Cyberpunk 2077. CD Projekt Red co-chief executive Martin Iwaniski, I think it is, last year told gaming website Kotaku that the company would be avoiding mandatory crunch and was committed to allowing employees to work without overtime. But an account from a CD Projekt Red employee recently, as well as an email to staff earlier this week, indicate that the company hasn't lived up to its word. The employee, who asked not to be named discussing private information, said some staff had already been putting in nights and weekends for more than a year. There is another quote directly from CD Projekt Red as well in response to that, saying, starting today, the entire development studio is in overdrive. Your typical amount of work on one-day weekend is... what is it? What's the quote saying there? Basically, he said the extra work would be paid as required by Polish labor laws. And I guess what they're trying to say is they're getting around it by saying that other video game companies don't pay for overtime, but they do. I'm just trying to read a little skim ahead because not all of it needs to be read. But basically, Cyberpunk 2077 has gone gold. So you think that this is all gonna, like everything they're trying to do now is probably going to come with a patch, because if they're doing crunch now and the game is already the final CD is already gone out, then it looks like this is all going to be done with a great big patch. Now, I think I kind of want to hear what you guys think, because obviously I do think crunch is obviously, I don't think it's a great, it's a bad business practice personally. I think some people have been disagreeing with that. Some people think that it's essential for video games these days because of how big they are. And I can kind of understand their reasoning in the sense that, you know, it takes this much manpower. But I don't think, when it comes to mandatory crunch, that's a different thing. When you're being told you have to work for this many hours, 6 days a week, then it starts becoming problematic, because that's just your life. That's just your life. Then your life is just making a game. And I know a lot of people would disagree with that, but there has to be some work-life balance. And I know as well, one thing I would say before I come on to you guys is I've read a lot about how different it is in Europe because of the EU's laws with regards to overtime and stuff, that even doing 6 days worth of overtime in the EU, an EU country, means you'll get overtime, you'll get paid, and I think there's they'll get a bonus at the end of it as well, depending on how much they've worked. It's not quite the same in America, where you're kind of forced into doing it. You don't get paid overtime, and likewise the same in Japan. So I can kind of see where some people are like, it's not that big a deal, but at the same time, I don't know. How do you guys feel about... first of all, how do you guys feel about crunch in the first place? I imagine you probably have the same opinions on me, but like, where you stand on that, and also where you stand with CD Projekt Red. Firstly, saying that they didn't want to do this, or they weren't going to do it, and then obviously realizing they're running out of time. But yeah, anyone want to go?
It's one of those things where, because it's a big company with, a lot, people love that company. I mean, they did The Witcher. Is that,
they did The Witcher,
yeah. Witcher 1, 2, 3.
Right. So, I mean, that alone will make developers feel, the pressure. They'll feel like they want to give everything they possibly can, not just for their job security, because it is important for the game to be good, and but also because they want it to be good. They're game developers at the top of their game who've been hired for a really good reason, and one of those reasons is they are obviously really passionate people who love developing games, and it's a very common practice with big companies. It happens a lot of the time where they will just, whether it's game development or anything else, extra hours go into it, and it's justified by saying, well, we are paying them, but it's... And ultimately, it will be a good game. I'm almost certain of that. I'm almost certain that the final product will be good. But at the expense of people's well-being and health, because it's not just the well-being and health of them over the course of that time, it's their well-being and health in the long run. Because let's say, even on a very small scale thing, you say, okay, well, they're getting... Their sleep schedule is messed up. That's one very small thing. But that takes a while to come back to normal.
Yeah, it really does.
Do you know what I mean? We all know it. We've all done it. We've all had bad sleep schedules.
It can cause depression,
and that's one element.
Like just sleep deprivation as well can cause depression. It can,
and it can really, and it can be a really bad snowball effect where one small thing, and I don't think it'll just be one small thing that's affected, but if even one small thing can really affect it. And I would hope that the vast majority of those people, those developers, and the rest of the staff working on it will come out feeling pretty tired, but mostly okay.
Yeah,
but there'll be people who, it's such a big company. I don't know how many developers are we talking about.
200, I think.
Yeah,
CD Projekt Red.
Yeah, it's about 200. It's about 200, 250, something like
And
that.
it's, yeah, I mean, look, they're making good money, I assume, and I'm glad that they're getting to work on something they care about. But I do think it is really unfair of big companies to take advantage of their position as a big company that everyone respects, especially when they're gonna make a shed load of money anyway. Like, don't be so selfish, dude.
They just released like a load of videos, and again, I've said this loads of times. I'm trying my best not to look at it, but basically, according to pretty much everyone that I follow and like respect in like the video game industry who've played it, they've said this game's going to be incredible. So like I'm very aware that this game is probably going to be very good. Everything I've seen looks really good, but at the same time, I don't want my enjoyment. It's one of those things, isn't it? Because like I could say it about anything really. I buy a mobile phone, like I don't want my enjoyment to come at someone else's expense. But obviously, like, you know, what line do you cross? Really, it's really hard to say that. But when you're able to just go, no, you shouldn't make people work 6 days a week, however many hours every day. It just seems like something that's very easy to go. Yeah, let's not do that, and let's make. Basically, I think it's come down to they've pushed the game back so much. I just don't think they want to push it back again.
Well, and also because it's supposed to come out before Christmas, right?
November 19th.
It was supposed to come out in April originally.
But so then
maybe earlier.
They could extend it and pay for that extra time, but it's much more beneficial for them to not lose out on those holiday profits, I guess is the top line.
Yeah, there's a few interesting things about this. It's the idea that they approached Jason Schreier for an article back in 2019 to boast about how they weren't going to be doing crunch for Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
And now they are doing crunch. But also, Adam Badowski, I think that's his name.
I think it's his name, yeah.
The studio lead has come out and said, okay, this is on me.
Yes, it
is. I know this
is
is bad, but we have to do it. We've looked at the other options. This is the only feasible one for us. And I can understand how, like, marketing costs so much bloody money. If they have to push it back a week, which would really, like, because they're gaining 6 days of work from everyone by doing 6 weeks worth of an extra day. Pushing it back a week or 2 weeks, not only do they miss out on Black Friday, but they've got to pay for all the remarketing, all the rest of it. It's going to cost hundreds of thousands probably. And the reason why I personally would usually say, well, money's money. People are better. People are more valuable than money. However, the people that are working all get what sounds like an equal share of the profits of the yearly profits of CD Projekt Red. So from the smallest guy to the tallest guy, you get I think it's 10% a share of the profits.
Yeah, I think it's like 10% of whatever the profits are get distributed between everyone that works there, which is, I mean, again, it's one of those things where of all the companies that have done it, at least they've come out and said, yeah, we screwed up. At least there's been that self-awareness.
And they are paying them for the extra day, whereas in America that's not normal practice.
Exactly.
Yeah. So but also, I think it's important as well that the video gaming industry, and especially with CD Projekt Red, I feel like they are aware of the issue, and they've been building this game for probably 10 years.
Yeah, it's been a long time coming.
They started with the philosophy of having crunch, and now they've got to a point where they're like, oh wait, we designed this whole procedure of how to build this game with the idea that we were going to crunch. Kind of impossible for us to turn around and not crunch now.
Yeah.
Because we don't have the time.
Yeah, that train's
moving.
They've
already delayed it. That trains are moving.
Yeah.
Do you think they were proud of the fact that, like, when they went to, where was it? They were announcing they weren't going to do crunch. Do you think they were announcing it just out of sheer pride, like, you know, like genuine pride, not you know what I mean?
I think they were genuinely really happy that they were going to be able to ship a game without crunch.
Yeah.
I really believe they believed it at the time. And I think while we shouldn't necessarily give them a free pass, I think I feel like I want to be more lenient on them on this occasion because they're being so transparent about it.
Yeah.
And now, if they have crunch on their next game, then it's like, what the hell were you talking about?
Yeah.
What? Like, stop selling shit to us.
Yeah.
Be honest. Be fair to your team. To these people who, like want to work, but you have to have a responsibility as a person in charge to be like, I know you want to work 6 days and you'd happily work 6 days, but you will burn out if you do that forever. So I have to not let you do that. And the only other thing that sticks to me is the word mandatory.
Yeah.
The mandatory overtime.
Yeah.
Now, even though I think if you said, "Oh, this is optional overtime," I'm sure 99% of people would say yes.
Yep.
And even then, that's still a slight manipulation of feeling like you have to do it, or even if it's not intentional manipulation, you'd feel like, "Oh, I kind of feel like I have to. I feel like this isn't a choice." But give them the option.
Yeah.
Because you know that most of them are going to say yes. And the people that don't say yes, you can probably get contractors in to make that time. And those contractors are currently out of work game developers who would happily take the job.
Exactly.
Take the hours,
to say they've worked on Cyberpunk as well. My God, like this.
Yeah.
We like for everything we've seen, this game looks like it's going to be incredible. You also make a really good point there, Dav, about like compulsory overtime as well, because the hardest thing as well is that I'm not saying CD Projekt Red have done this, but there are other companies who just won't hire. Like there's one of those things where like, will you be willing to do overtime? You don't have to tick this box, but then we won't hire anyone that doesn't tick this box, kind of thing. You know what I mean? It's like, well, you tick the box. You've already said that. You know, it's compulsory in the sense that like you've ticked the box. We need you to do it. I do agree with you as well about CD Projekt Red have done many things like. They've been very open about so many things. Like they've offered to give everyone free updates to The Witcher 3. They didn't have to do that. You know, they've done things in the past. So it makes me think this does seem like a massive error on their behalf, and they've at least recognized it. At the same time, I think you are right. If it happens again, then people will go, "That was all bullshit. You just said that because you knew that you had goodwill stored up. People were willing to let you off, but then you do it again." And I think that's the thing I'd be worried about. Do you know what I mean? It's like...
Yeah, I think we're holding them to higher standards because they are who they are.
Yeah,
exactly. And because they're so pro-customer and pro-consumer, we expect them to be so pro-developer. And so far, it's like, maybe there are some training wheels on there for like, maybe they need a bit longer to rework how their working practices are. But I think we're holding them to a higher standards than... If EA turned around and said, "Oh yeah, we have crunch on all our games," we'd be like, "Well, of course you do."
Yeah, of course you do. Yeah.
But we wouldn't think about it. And we would just pass it off. We'd be like, "Well, EA shit, let's move on." It's like, well, I think we should tar everyone with the same brush, you know?
Yeah.
CD Projekt Red shouldn't be given a pass, even though I feel like I want to wait until what their next project's going to be and see if crunch is still prevalent there. At the same time, when it comes out in 3 months that people are crunching to hell on whatever EA's next botch job is, then we should criticize them just as harshly.
But this is also why I think we should be criticizing CD Projekt Red in the sense that like we would, like us in particular, we would go to town on EA because we always do. And you know what I mean? It's like you're totally right, Dav. I do feel like industry standards are improving with regards to crunch with certain companies, but it needs to improve across the board. Personally, let's move on from Cyberpunk. Like I said, there's lots to discuss there, but I think we've kind of said all we really need to say about that situation. So I want to move on to so we haven't really got many stories left because again I've been away, so I came home and I was like frantically trying to find all the biggest news stories of the last couple of days. So Super Mario Bros. 35 was released last week. So basically, again, this is a blurb from Nintendo where it says, compete against other players near and far in Super Mario Bros. 35, a frantic online battle game that's available as an exclusive offer for Nintendo Switch Online members until the 31st of the 3rd, 2021. Have you guys had a chance to have a go yet? I guess I'm asking Zach. Like, I say this every week. What am I saying? Dav, have you had a chance to play?
No, I haven't actually. For whatever reason, it just hasn't quite enticed me to want to play. I will play it. I will try it because it's a limited thing. I want to like get in there, sample it, get a win, and move on. But
it could be a good streaming game as well because I think there's going to be a peak soon with that game, and then I think it's just going to fall off a cliff unless they do more with it anyway.
Or it might be fun to stream it at the end of its life.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good
end of March.
Well, there's only like 3 people.
Yeah.
Super Mario Bros. 3. No, not that one. But yeah, I haven't checked it out. Like I said, I've been away, but I will have a look. It does. I've seen a couple of people streaming it. It does look like fun, but I've just had so many other things I need to do, basically. But yeah, check it out. It's online now on the Nintendo Switch Online. If you have it. Speaking of Nintendo Switch Online, from the 13th to the 10th, so from next Tuesday, for a week until the 20th to the 10th. Nintendo Switch Online members can experience the full version of Overwatch for free. Fight in the future. This is a whole thing from Nintendo again. Fight in the future of intense 6v6 team battles using a mesmerizing lineup of heroes, weapons, and powers to claim victory. I'm definitely going to check out Overwatch. I've never played it. If it's going to be free for a week, I probably won't buy it, but I'd get a free game for a week, and I've heard so many good things about it. I don't know how good it is on the Switch, but it seems like I might as well give it a try.
I've not played it on the Switch. I did play it on the PC way back when. It's a cool game. Game. I think it's changed quite a bit since I played it, but it was cool. Some really cool, fun characters. Mercy was fun.
Yeah, I think it won the Game of the Year, the 2016 VGAs, Video Game Awards. I'm fairly sure it won. Best
definitely
game.
won some. Yeah, definitely won some Game of the Year.
Fairly sure it won that. So yeah, try it out. It's like I said, it's gonna be free for a week. Why not? You may as well try it out. And finally, we come to I say a slightly fun topic. It's the opening of Universal Studios Japan. It's been delayed until spring 2021, so we're gonna have to wait until next year, guys, if we're gonna go to Japan and go to Nintendo World. I know. I keep putting every single time. We haven't had a topic. We haven't spoken about this topic in a long time. We're saying we're gonna go VGA tour to Japan and go to Nintendo World. I mean, I've seen some of the clips from that place, and it does look amazing. I said before, if I was like a 10-year-old seeing that, I'd burst. I just
honestly
burst. It's really cool. They're bringing in some like Mario cafes and stuff there as well. It seems like they've done quite a lot that it does really entice me in the same way, I guess, that if you're interested in going like Disney World because you like Disney, it does seem like it's going to be on that level, which is, I don't know, man. I love Mario, so I probably will end up going one day.
Well, slightly related to that, I went to the Video Game Museum.
Oh, did you really?
In Sheffield.
In Sheffield, right?
A few weeks ago. And I had fun because I was with my girlfriend and we were just messing around. We played a bit of Rock Band 3 while we were there.
Oh,
played a bit of QWOP, which is that keyboard online game you have to get the guy to run. And he was like, if you get over a few meters, I'll be really impressed. He wasn't American. And I got 20 meters, so suck it. I'm a gamer pro.
Gamer.
Suck it, Sheffield.
Did you say noob and then walk away?
I said, I pooned you, noobs. But largely, I was a bit disappointed by it, really. It kind of just felt like a free arcade that you had to pay to get into. It was some weird choices of games. I kept looking around and going, I would have done this differently, or I would have done that differently. But there was some cool stuff. That was really cool. Little like glass cabinets of like little merch and stuff, and like limited edition stuff, and it's really cool. So there was some cool stuff, but by and large, I was a little. Yeah.
I think they were struggling recently. I think I remember reading they were really struggling with finances. So it looked like
go there and spend all your money.
Yeah, I think he was either going to close or he closed for a short period of time. I can't remember if this was pre-COVID or I don't know if anything's
Well, they've opened up a second one in Nottingham, so I wonder if it's to do with that.
Maybe could be.
But they had a really cool little gift shop, and I bought Jason Schreier's book. I'm looking forward to read that.
It's really interesting because I've seen a lot. Obviously, he's been popping up on Twitter a lot because there was a lot of people giving him flack for his comments about CD Projekt Red.
Projekt 9.
And it was. I don't know, because I don't know much about him other than his articles with Bloomberg, but it was just really interesting that he seems such a divisive figure to so many in the video game world.
Well, I think most people love him.
Yeah.
He manages to break stories that no one else has.
Yeah.
He broke the crunch stories of last year and this year. A lot of the sort of harassment, anything that's serious in the gaming industry, he's usually the one that's breaking it.
Yeah.
He used to work at Kotaku, and now he's at Bloomberg.
Yeah, Bloomberg.
I think the division comes from people who are diehard CD Projekt Red fans.
Yeah.
And like, no, you can't say anything bad about the people I love who I've never met, but I love them. I'm sure they're doing the right thing.
No, you're right. A lot of it probably does. I mean, a lot of it does seem to come down to this person has criticized something. And there seem to be a lot of people as well being like, there's always that meme. And to be fair, he shared that meme actually yesterday. It was like that meme where it's like, ooh, you participate in society, yet you participate in like capitalism, yet you criticize it. How interesting! I'm so clever.
Yeah.
And he shared that a couple of times. I'm like, yeah, that does seem to be what a lot of people are like to him. I'm not saying that he doesn't have legitimate criticism against him. Like I said, I've only read his articles, and usually his articles are actually really good reads, really fantastic. And like you said, they always break good stories. But
he's the best in the biz.
Yeah, there we are. All right,
he's who we aspire to be.
Right, let's move on to games we've played. Now, does anyone have any games or stuff they want to talk about? specifically?
Johnny, go first.
Should I go first? I actually have, so there's kind of a story here. So there's a game that I was going to talk about. Actually, first things first, I'll very briefly say this. I completed Super Mario Sunshine, and I still equally love and equally hate that game. But I don't need to talk about that anymore. I was very happy to beat it.
Out of 10 today,
I
not back then. Out of 10 now.
Now, I'd probably give it like an 8, maybe an 8 now.
An 8 for a game that you hate? What's wrong with you?
Because no, I don't hate it. That's the thing. There's like this thing.
I hate without 8.
It's like there's so many things about it that I loved. Like genuinely think, wow, this is so
but
good.
But it only lost 2 marks. What does Galaxy get for you?
Oh, Galaxy gets 10. Like Galaxy gets
10?
Yeah, 10.
A 10 for Galaxy.
Galaxy.
People prefer that over Odyssey.
Like I can see why. I
can't.
But yeah, so like I said, I was really happy to have completed that, and I'm trying to make my way to Super Mario 64 when I can. But the game I'm going to talk about briefly that's going to take me into another story very quickly is Wargroove. Now, I said to Dav last week that Wargroove was, I think it was half price on the eShop. And you'd mentioned it loads of times. You'd said it's like Fire Emblem, or very similar to Fire Emblem in the style. So I was like, okay, I'll buy it. And I bought it, and it was £7. So I was like, this is amazing. So I played it, and I was like, wow, this is actually really, really good. It's such a good game.
So good.
And then, because I've mentioned Fire Emblem, you can probably guess where this is going to go. So I was playing Wargroove for about 2 hours. Rosie walks in, sees me playing Wargroove, and instantly goes, what's this? She goes out and buys it because she thinks this looks amazing. And then we start talking about Fire Emblem again, and then I happened to mention to her that Fire Emblem, there's technically only there's 4 Fire Emblem games on the 3DS. If you
5.
Include, well, yeah. I was gonna say if you include Warriors, but then you've got one game which is actually 3 games.
So yeah, 1 is 3.
Yeah, 1 is 3. So
plus Awakening, plus Echo Shadow of Valencia.
Yeah. So there's a lot of games on the 3DS, and I happened to mention that to her, and we watched a video about it last night because we were watching videos about Wargroove as well, just to like trailers and stuff. And she was like, "Oh, that looks great." Okay, so I've been saying for a while that I wanted to buy a 3DS. This morning, I was popped into town because I had to get rid of some checks because I said get rid of. I had to deposit some checks. Like, get rid of them. Here's a check for you. Here's a check for you. Like throw them around. I just popped down to HSBC, put my check in, and there's a CEX like two doors down. So I just popped in there. There was a Fire Emblem Awakening 3DS on sale, and I sent Rosie a picture. She sent me a text. Maybe not even 1 second later, it felt like, saying, "Okay, buy it. Here's £70." I looked at my phone. There was £70 transferred to my bank account. So I was like, "Okay." So I bought that. I brought it home. I've been playing. I've been playing Zelda: A Link Between Worlds, which is
awesome.
So I've been saying to be fair, I've been saying to Zach for ages how long I've been wanting to play the 3DS. And I mentioned to Dav like how I bought it early, and I was just like, oh my god, there are things with the 3DS that I think that it does better than the Switch, which I was very interested in. Like there's certain things, not everything, and obviously the Switch is still amazing, but there's certain things about like the way the menu's set out, the way that it's organized, the fact there's music, it just feels very, very personal, which, the Switch can sometimes feel a bit cold when you're Switch. I get that.
The one thing the Switch doesn't have that the 3DS has,
themes?
Folders.
Folders, yeah.
You can put your games in folders. So you can just, instead of having a line and then you get to the end, you click it and it shows all your games, you just have your Pokemon games.
Yeah.
You have your Mario games.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Do any genres, you can do them in years released.
Yeah.
Anything you want.
Well,
folders.
And that's the thing. So I've literally been playing that all day, other than like getting the podcast ready. Been playing that, and honestly, like, A Link Between Worlds is I'm hooked already. I played it for like 2 hours, and I was like, oh, that must have been 30 minutes. And it tells you exactly how long you've been playing as well.
That's another great thing. Yeah, the play activity.
2 hours and 30 minutes, and I've just been sat here like reading stuff whilst I've been doing it. It's so good, and like we bought Fire Emblem Awakening, which Rosie is obviously going to play, and she's happy now. Because she's just gonna play Fire Emblem.
Yeah, the marriage was whatever, but
marriage is obviously this is what it was. This is what is leading up to just Fire Emblem. But honestly, I
need to get married.
I'm really glad I bought it. Like I honestly, like, having played just A Link Between Worlds, and having seen Rosie play Fire Emblem Awakening for like the first like 10 minutes, those are two games that I want to beat. I want to beat both of them, and I want to beat 3D Land, and I want to beat the other Fire Emblem games, and then there's Zelda games like Oracle of Ages and Seasons, which are on there, which I've never played before, and I want to beat those. And then there's the 3D collection of Majora's Mask and Ocarina of Time, which I'd love to play, because I said to Dav just before the start, I haven't completed Majora's Mask in what feels like 20 years. So,
dude, I have a stack of 3DS games that I'm just staring at right now. I'm like, all right, you can borrow that one, you can borrow that one, you can borrow that one.
Have you done Ocarina Master Quest?
No, it's not. Is it on the 3D?
I think
it
it's
is
on the 3D version. Yeah. It's quite weird, but I think it's worth a go.
I definitely will give that a go then, because and I was thinking about streaming it as well, because you can just get a little device that like connects to your computer. You can stream as if you're recording on the TV. Yeah. So honestly, it was a very. I didn't start today thinking I was going to buy a 3DS, but I ended the day with one, and I'm very glad I did.
It's so funny as well when we were texting the other night. About
literally last night. It was last night.
I said,
last night.
I sat there and I was
about
to text you to say, "Oh, dude, I think you're gonna have to get a 3DS."
Yeah, you did.
But then I was like, I won't text him that because you'll feel bad if he like. Because I know that you'd been like for ages going like, "Oh, I probably shouldn't," because I don't want to spend the money and stuff. So I was like, I won't say it because I don't want him to go through that turmoil again. Yeah. That's so funny. You got it today.
Well, I think that the changing point was Rosie was just like, right, I'll just pay for it. Or like in the sense that like I was willing to go like halvesies and pay for like games so we can pay, because I know she loves Fire Emblem. I say this all the time on this channel, and as soon as she was on board, it just means it was like 100. It was like 50 quid each to buy. So it was like, and it was a new. It's not the new one, but it's a 3DS XL, so it's like the really big one as well. It's a really
nice.
Oh, I like the XLs. Those are cool.
It looks really sleek, really lovely. And I was saying to Dav as well, it's a Fire Emblem Awakening branded one, so it's actually a limited edition version of that.
It's sexy.
Yeah, so if I go to sell it a couple of years down the line, it could appreciate in value, just because I can't imagine there's many of those floating around in the UK, because Fire Emblem is not exactly the best selling game for Nintendo anyway. But yeah, that's what I've been up to. I've been playing. I was playing Watergroove. Now I'm playing Link Between Worlds, and I'm happy with both.
I'm so happy.
Yeah,
I'm so happy you're playing the best Zelda game ever.
Yeah, exactly. I was so where am I now? Just as a, I'm not going to talk about this too long, because I'll kind of wait until I've done that game. I've just beaten the first. The Eastern Temple, is it? So I've just beaten the Eastern Temple. I've just got the ability to flatten out onto walls, basically turn into paintings. But yeah.
I mean, after that, you can do any of the temples in any order.
Yeah, I'm just very excited because I know that it's based off A Link to the Past, and I love that game. But yeah, awesome. Game. Who wants to go next?
You go, Dav.
Ooh, I'll go. I've got 2 games.
You go for it.
1 negative, 1 positive.
Oh no! Is it Link Between Worlds?
Yeah.
Negative, yeah.
I hate that game. No. Let's go. Let's start negative.
Go.
Spellbreak.
Spellbreak. I don't
know. So Spellbreak is that mage wizarding battle royale game that was released very recently.
Right.
And I don't know if I've mentioned on the podcast, but I recently uninstalled Warzone.
You did say that, yeah. Yeah,
because it was just a broken mess and I couldn't be asked. So I thought I'll finish with season 5 and then I was out, and then I did that.
Just very quickly with Warzone, wasn't it like over 100, like 150 gigabytes at the end? Like some
200.
people like that is sorry, but that's ridiculous. But anyway, as you were.
Thank you. So I thought, Spellbreak, that's a battle royale. Will that scratch the itch for me? A few of my mates were in on it. They're like, let's do this. Because I've got a lot of fantasy-loving nerds so as friends. So we thought, right, let's get in. A week later, I've uninstalled it. It's fine. It's fine. But I don't need to waste my time spending my time playing fine games.
Yeah. There's too many great games to...
Yeah, the controls are... very splashy, and it doesn't feel like there's any real effect to anything you do, any buttons you press.
Yeah.
The loot is limited. It's fine. There are some cool powers in there, I'm not going to lie. There are some really cool abilities, but it's kind of marred by a lot of half-baked ideas, and the map is really boring and really bland. And
so good.
Yeah, I think another issue is that everyone I'm playing against seems to be double my level.
Right.
And I think what's happened there is there's only a small dedicated player base.
Yeah.
So people who've been playing it since the pre-alpha, for instance, like I've had people who killed me and it goes pre-alpha, and I'm like,
Okay.
So I think there isn't enough people for. I would consider myself a slightly above average game enthusiast overall. So I don't think there are many people at my level who are willing to give Spellbreak a chance because they're willing to stick with Warzone. And what I'm going to come on to is that Apex Legends is becoming. It's got a beta for crossplay this week.
Oh, amazing!
So I'm going to hop back on the Apex Legends.
When is that coming out for the Switch? Because that's coming out for the Switch soon.
About the same time, I think. It's supposed to. I'm not sure.
Because I actually did want to pick that up because you've said that Apex Legends is awesome. So I did.
I think it's the best battle royale game, and I can't wait to play it again, and I will do. But that's Spellbreak. Now on to. I've been streaming a little game called The Messenger.
Oh yeah, I did see that.
Yeah,
how's it going?
It's glorious. So The Messenger starts off as a 2D platformer in 8-bit, and you play this ninja who's like. I've been kind of doing accents for each one. He feels like a Californian dude. Like, oh, what am I even doing here? I don't even want to go to my ninja lessons. Dude, what the hell?
Sorry, just really stop you there. Just based on that Californian accent. Have you ever seen the Californians in SNL?
I have.
Oh, that's what it's reminding me of now. Devin, what are you doing?
But yeah, and like, it's funny. Like, the dialogue is genuinely amusing. And then when you die, you get resurrected by this really sarcastic demon. And every time you die, there's a new line of dialogue for him on the screen.
Oh, really?
And they're usually contextual. So however you die, he's like, dude, you know spikes kill you, right? And like, you'll die again, like hitting the side of spikes. And he goes, yep, even the sides. And like, yeah, loads of different. And he'll be like, you've died 80 times so far. How does that make you feel? I'm like, shut up!
Stop it!
And then what happens is when this demon does resurrect you, he follows you until you've collected enough loot, and he eats your loot until he's like, yeah, I'm satiated. I'll see you later. And then he pops back later on when you die. It's really rewarding, challenging platforming, and then you get halfway. Oh, by the way, boss battles are amazing. Every boss battle that you do, they basically are like, oh, dude, my bad. Totally, like, it's cool. Let's be friends. And then there's like a dragon that you have to fight against. You beat the dragon, and the dragon's like, "Oh, thank you for saving me." You're like, "Oh, what?" And he's like, "Yeah, come on, hop on my back. Call me Manfred because I want to be a butler." And you're like, "Okay." And then you've got like these two ogres that you have to. They're like, "Oh, you're so small," and they've got this really like posh accents in my head. They're like, "Oh, come on!" And they're called Colossus and Colossuses.
Oh, okay.
And they've got these. They keep like. Using loads of different like long words. It's very funny. Like they're very intelligent, but also these hulking massive things. And they're like tag team wrestlers when they're fighting you. And they're like, "Oh, come on, let's be sporting. Let's have a good fight." And then you beat them, and then eventually you have to come back and you give them this thistle so they can make their massive pot of stew that they've been brewing for hundreds of years. But yeah, excellent. And then you get halfway through the game, you go through this Tower of Time, it's like this massive gauntlet, and then eventually you get through that, and they go, great, let's do the thing. And literally they say, can we do the thing now? And it's like, yeah, let's do the thing. They do the thing, and it goes from 16-bit to from 8-bit to 16-bit. And you get a cool hat. That becomes relevant. You get a cool hat. All the music changes from an 8-bit chiptune style to a 16-bit style.
That's really cool.
The graphics all change, and you're like 500 years in the future. And then the 2D platform now becomes a Metroidvania, and you have to go back and forth through all the levels that you've been playing, and you have to like find these different musical notes to try and lift the curse that's on the island, on the land that you live on. And it's just like so many amazing ideas pulled off really, really well.
That sounds great.
Yeah, I've been streaming it. I've done 3 streams of it now. I'm going to do a 4th one tonight. Like, I'm hooked on this game. It's so fun. Like, so challenging. Every time I die, almost every time I die, I go, that was my fault.
Yeah.
And that is what I want in the game. I want a game to punish me when I've been stupid and to reward me when I've been great.
Yeah.
And so good. The traversal, right? You can't double jump, but if you jump and then you attack something, you get an extra jump. And then what you can do is you can jump, attack, jump, then you can hold down A again to glide, and then if you attack while you're gliding, you get a little bounce up, then you can jump again, and then you can glide. So if you want to get really far, you do this little intricate little pattern of things, and you go, okay, right, I can get across this bit. And there are some parts of the game that if you want to get the proper rewards, you need to do this stuff. And so, like, it's rewarding in the same way that, like, Breath of the Wild is rewarding. It's like, well, I wonder if I can do that thing. And you do it, and you're like, yes, and you get there,
Can
there's
do
a
the
thing.
thing.
And there's a thing in there, and you go, yes, there's a thing rewarding me for doing the thing I wanted to do. Yeah, really cool game. And the only reason I have it is because I saw a Kickstarter for a game called Sea of Stars, which is like a JRPG, Final Fantasy style. It looks really cool. Check it out. The Kickstarter's finished, but it's made by Sabotage Studios, who makes The Messenger. Sorry, I'm talking really quickly. It's set in the same universe as The Messenger. Or set in the same world as The Messenger. And they were like,
that's cool.
That's cool.
the second tier, or the second or third tier on the Kickstarter was, well, you get an access to Sea of Stars, but you can also get a copy of The Messenger. So I thought, well, I'll just do that, and then I'll like have all the Messenger lore and stuff. And so yeah, I've been playing through this game, and it's so cool. And now Sea of Stars, which is a completely different genre, completely different art style, completely different everything. I'm like, how the hell are these two worlds connected? And I'm really excited to find out how.
That that was a lot of information for me.
Yeah, man. It's kind of making me want to play it. I'm gonna have to tune into your stream tonight.
Yeah. I've seen The Messenger a couple of times online, and it has always had really good reviews, and I've seen like people talking about how great it is. I've not seen it in depth like that because I've not actually looked at videos online. I might have to check out your stream from when was your last one? When did you do the last one?
I've streamed it Saturday, Monday, and Tuesday, and I'm streaming it again after we've stopped recording.
I'll have a look see at your stream from yesterday.
It won Best Indie Game Debut at the Game Awards in 2018.
Oh, did it really?
Yeah.
There we are. It must be pretty good. Awesome. Zach, what are you doing? What are you up to?
I finally got my Zoom sorted out, so I can do backgrounds again. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've been playing Daf Game, which I'm sure both of you have played.
I've not played it. I've
heard of.
Well, that's another one we should definitely have a go of. It's super old now, by which I mean, what is it, like 6 years old or something?
Yeah.
And I played it in I think I was late to the party when I first played it. Anyway, as you know, I've been having my computer fixed, my PC fixed. So, and you can't play it on your Mac. So I finally went back and played it because I got it fixed, and thought I'd just see how it holds up, because it was really fun when I played it back in 2016 or whatever it was. One of the big problems at the moment is that, obviously, as is the case with many multiplayer online games, is no one's playing it anymore. So trying to find a game is really tough. But what I did get to play of it feels really fun. You know, it's not something that I would spend like my whole life playing. Like it doesn't have the replay value of something, you know, timeless like Smash Brothers or whatever. Yeah. I do think you can get a really good afternoon out of it. Like I think, especially if you've got the right, you know, if you're with a good crowd of people. I wonder how it would hold up between people who've played it before and people who haven't, because like some of the time it really is kind of like, if you've never played a level before, it's kind of like, what do I do here? And then you die because you don't fucking know. But I had a lot of fun going back to this game. I didn't get a chance to play for it very long, but I definitely think it'd be a good one for a multiplayer Monday, or if you guys just want to play it just for us, just for our fun. What? With no one watching, as though we can enjoy it. Yeah. Wait, you can play games for fun? What?
No, what? One of my favorite. To be fair, I saw a really funny tweet recently about there was someone saying basically like, but what happens when one of the guys on a podcast hasn't had a chance to play a game that he can talk about? And I was like, oh yeah, that is quite funny, because like, to be fair, normally I don't really care. If none of us have played a game, I wouldn't care. But you do listen to some podcasts, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I played this one. I played this one." I'm like, okay, it is quite funny sometimes. Like,
what? So people like saying they played something that they haven't played? Or?
Yeah, well, no, it's just the idea that they have to bring something to the podcast to talk about. Because
I definitely suffer from that. I don't think I've not brought something yet.
There's been loads of times where
you're very good at it, to be fair, Dav. You come every week with something new.
Yeah.
I come back having told you that I'm playing The Last of Us 2 again.
Why did you mention it?
I have to. It's Video Games Ahoy. Have you seen this show before?
It went
quickly, Jonny. Mention Breath of the Wild.
Uncharted. Yeah, exactly.
I already have.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
Zach, did you want to? There was a story that I found really funny that when you texted me about the other day. You can explain if you want to. If you don't want to, that's totally fine.
I was gonna say, I don't think I've told you anything embarrassing lately. So
no. It was the story about the lyrics.
Oh god, yeah. So I got my.
Just really funny. I just thought it was really funny.
Yeah, my computer broke 3 years ago when Jonny and I were on tour together. So it was like when we first met, and then it broke. So it broke one morning, I guess, and I never got it fixed until really recently because I only just needed my PC to work again. And so I got it fixed, and I took it to the shop, and then it just came up with like the last browser tabs that I had up 3 years ago. And I was like, oh God, what was I looking at 3 years ago? And it was it was the lyrics to a song, because I guess the night before... oh, wait, hang on.
Yeah, it was...
So I guess the night before was the night that you were sick. Is that
I
right?
was, yeah. It was... Basically, we were on a tour bus, and there was about 40 people on this tour bus, and everyone got sick. Everyone got sick.
Gross.
So it was just a matter of time. Apart from Zach. Zach was the only person on the tour bus.
Yeah, I got really lucky. I just didn't get sick the whole time.
I got sick because I was singing like these really high songs, and like for my voice.
Oh, also my parts were a lot easier than yours. but then because you were sick, I had to sing your songs. But I was supposed to learn the lyrics to those songs, but I just didn't, because I just thought like, Jonny will be fine. And so like I was like backstage looking at the lyrics on my laptop, trying to like memorize right before going on stage. And so that was the last thing I looked at 3 years ago when
was it Gethsemane?
It wasn't Gethsemane.
Stick it to the man.
No, this is the funniest part. You want to know how I learned the lyrics for Gethsemane? I didn't learn the lyrics for Gethsemane. The musical director, who's like the guy who's like waving the baton to the orchestra, was mouthing it to me. Oh, why am I saying this in a public forum? This is not okay. I'm supposed to have a career.
Zach Hamilton available for bookings now.
I know.
No, it's all of the words to Gethsemane. Now.
I actually do now know the lyrics to
know.
Gethsemane, because I did have to sing it a few times after.
To be fair, anyone that doesn't know musical theatre just does that last 5 minutes just come right over their heads. Should we move on to the quiz? Should we move on
Gladly. Is it
quiz?
A musical theatre quiz?
It's a musical theatre, musical theatre, musical
I'm gonna get rid of my duck game. I'm gonna have a different background.
You know, I've not played Saints Row 4, but I believe there is an expansion or a DLC where it's a musical.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Huh.
That's actually
This
really
seems
funny.
like a fitting. This is what I'm.
Oh, for God's sake! I'm assuming that's Last of Us 2.
It's Last of Us 1. And
I
I will thank you to respect it. Actually, can I tell the story about how? I'm moving
absolutely
into
not.
Shush.
Quiz.
I'm moving into a flat, and I'm currently trying to organize it so I can make one of the rooms look like this.
Yeah. Oh
for
yeah.
Anyone who'd be interested in that.
What,
I'm
you
super
put
excited.
Loads of leaves outside.
Well, so I'm gonna have like some fake like ivy and stuff
Zombies.
going through the window. Yeah, I'm gonna have some zombies. Yeah. And I want to have like the little knife stick. You can't see it. Maybe you can. She has like a little knife. Is it there? I can't see it. It's there. Sticking out.
You're going to break the window as well?
Maybe.
All right. Shall we start, lads? Should we go from let's go
Please.
from question number one. Question number one.
Okay.
Just before we start again, do you want the answers or do you just want to guess?
Let's just do
to
it.
smash through it.
Okay. Who directed Super Mario Galaxy?
Oh crap!
Do you want the 4 guesses?
No.
I have no idea. I literally don't know. I'm gonna have to go. This isn't right. God damn it! All right, I'm ready.
All right.
The only saving grace is I don't think Dav knows either.
Nope.
Okay.
Okay. You guys ready?
Yeah.
Remember to type it into your screens. 3, 2, 1. Press enter.
What do you say?
Zach, you go first. Zach, we'll always start with you. Okay, so you.
I said Shigsy.
Shigsy.
Eiji Aonuma.
It's Yoshiaki Kaizumi.
Kaizumi.
He pretty much does all of the Mario games now, or at least all of the main 3D Mario games. All right.
There was a guy who did all the Mario games. I just can't remember his name.
Yeah.
What was it? Kazumi.
Koizumi. Yeah, he does a lot of the Nintendo Directs.
Koizumi.
You probably see him quite. Probably see him quite often. All right. Question number 2: which Legend of Zelda features appearances from Kirby and Yoshi?
Oh. I feel like this could be a trick question.
It's not.
Okay. If you've you
I'm
guys
ready.
finished? Okay. On the count of 3, 3, 2, 1.
Link's Awakening.
Link's Awakening.
It is Link's Awakening.
Sweet.
Yes.
I put the full name down. He didn't.
I did see that, yeah.
Dav gets 1 3/4. No, I'm joking. All right, question number 3. By the way, we've only got 10 questions this week. So yeah, deal with it. Question number 3. Which of the which of the following wrestlers helped debut the original Xbox? The Rock, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Chris Jericho, or The Undertaker?
I definitely used to know this.
Know.
Say him again.
The Rock, Stone Cold, Chris Jericho, The Undertaker.
Alright.
Guys have an answer?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, alright.
Okay, count of 3, here we go. 3, 2, 1.
I nearly said The Rock. I said Stone Cold Steve
You said
Austin.
Stone Cold.
I said The Rock.
It is The Rock.
Damn it, I nearly put that and then I changed my mind because I thought it was too obvious.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson himself.
Damn it.
Okay, question number 4. Okay, you gotta pay attention to this because I didn't understand it the first time and you're listening to it. How many different shapes of 4 connected blocks are there in Tetris? So basically, how many different blocks are there in Tetris?
They're also called tetrominos.
There we are. How many of those are there?
1, 2, 3. Okay.
Wait.
Have you got a guess?
Yeah.
Got a guess?
Yeah, I got one.
Okay. Are you guys ready to go?
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
3,
think I got this.
2, 1.
It's 5.
7.
It's 7.
What? What are the other 2?
There's
Which ones did I
L,
forget?
J, S, Z, cube, line, and...
Yeah, that's a 7.
Was that 7?
Yeah, there's the answer 7. Yeah, I don't know which one. It doesn't give me which
Cube,
ones there are.
line, S, Z, L,
Oh, I forgot about
J.
S.
Oh, T.
T. Yeah, T.
My favourite
Is there
piece.
a T?
Yeah, T-spins,
remember.
mate.
Okay.
Man, I do not play Tetris enough.
Question number
Correct.
5.
Yeah.
Which Grand Theft Auto experience was the first to offer a playable female character?
Experience.
So that includes like, for instance, I'll give you an example of GTA Online. That includes that. It'll include it could include DLC like
Like DLC.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
Ballad
like
of Gay Tony.
and just Ballad of Gay Tony, yeah, like the DLC like that, yeah. So which Grand Theft Auto experience is the first to offer a playable female character?
I've only played like 2 GTA games.
No, GTA Online would be the answer I'd want to go with, but you just said GTA Online, which you wouldn't have done. So I'm going to say this. I'm ready.
Oh, that was just. Do you want me to read up? I got 4.
No?
Okay, Zach, you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, 3, 2, 1. Zach, what did you go with?
for?
GTA 4 DLC. I thought
Oh,
that was
Dav?
as vague as I could make it.
Chinatown Wars.
The answer was GTA 1. Because in the
Really?
in the very first GTA, you pick characters and you can play as a female character.
Your
yeah,
word
cool.
experience really threw me off there. I was like, ooh, Chinatown Wars is like a 3DS game, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think you hotwire a car with a stylus.
Yeah. Yeah. Apparently that didn't sell very well, but apparently it was quite good, but it just didn't sell very well.
That's on the
all right.
list.
That's
Good question.
List. Made the list. Which year did the last N64 game release? And a bonus point if you can guess the game.
Ugh.
So, guess the year, and then if you want an extra bonus point, guess the game.
Trying to think when the GameCube came out.
I know when the GameCube came out. I was so hyped for the GameCube when I was a kid.
I was hyped for it as well. I
I remember sitting in my classroom, like buzzing out of my seat, just excited to play Smash Brothers.
It was Luigi's Mansion. I remember there was a TV program that was specifically a gaming program with a woman with a bob haircut. I can't remember what it was called. And I used to watch it like all the time, just because it was the only way we had access to it. Well, to viewing
Back in those days.
Back in the day is mad, isn't it? Like to think that we, click of a button now. Back in those days, you had to watch things when they were on, otherwise you missed them.
I've
all
got
right,
a guess.
you got a guess?
I'm ready.
All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Press enter.
Oh my god, you wrote the same game!
Oh, that's crazy!
I didn't think you would say ISS. That's so funny.
Crazy.
Wow.
Right,
So
Zach,
I said
what did you write?
2003 with ISS because the GameCube came out in 2002, I believe.
Yep.
Yeah, I said 2006 with ISS. I thought this is where the games just keep coming.
So you're both wrong on both counts. Zach,
Right.
you should have trusted yourself more because it was 2002 the last game came out.
Well,
And
so,
it was-
but I thought it would have come out after the GameCube finished.
It
the GameCube
logic
started, I mean.
makes sense,
Yeah.
but
People were happy for those discs to come, clearly.
Yeah, I guess so.
N64 towards the end of its life was bad, and the last game was Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3
What a game.
Wow, on the N64.
on the N64, the last game.
I had that was one of the first games I had on my GameCube. I had that and Smash Brothers.
I can imagine the difference in the N64
Must have been
GameCube version of
massive.
that. It must have been huge. All right, then question number 7: which Call of Duty game first had zombies as a playable mode?
Oh Ooh, I think I know. Maybe
I
that's
definitely
what
know.
it's called. I'm not a COD guy.
Yeah, I'm not anymore. I used to play it a lot around then, so I probably would have known this answer, but only because I wouldn't know any.
I used
honestly
to play
wouldn't know any.
daily back then.
Yeah,
When
me
this
too.
game was out.
When I was in uni, I used to play all the time.
Okay, I'm ready.
All right.
Three,
Did
two,
we
one,
clarify that
Sorry.
we both said ISS as the last game? Because I
Yeah.
feel like we
International
just
Superstar Soccer.
I feel
Yeah,
like we
What
yeah.
are the chances?
Yeah,
I
that
just
is
felt like
great.
we both lost it because we
I
were
can
so
just picture
surprised.
I can
ISS
just
as
picture
well.
the
That's totally
ISS.
what I was picturing. Yeah.
All right. Great. On the count of 3, 3, 2, 1. It was World at War. Both
Call
of
of
you
Duty
guys.
World
nice.
at War.
Yeah, World at
It
War.
was World War II.
Yeah.
With zombies.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's really good.
I have played that.
I enjoyed that game. That was a good one. It was in the Pacific.
Yeah, the Bouncing Betties.
Yeah.
Remember
All right then. Question number 8.
that? Shout out to that castle level, multiplayer level. That was good.
Yeah, it was.
Sorry.
Oh, there was a lot of good levels in that game. Star Wars: Knights of the Old Republic is a role-playing game set in the Star Wars universe, developed by BioWare and published by LucasArts. But approximately how many years does the game take place before the rise of the Galactic Empire? I am going to give you 4 options because Zach
Okay.
won't have a clue. Is it 1,000 years before the rise of the Galactic Empire? Is it 2,000 years before the rise? So basically before the Star Wars films. 1,000 years, 2,000 years, 3,000 years, or 4,000 years before the rise of the Galactic Empire.
Oh, that is interesting.
I'm gonna go with my instinct.
Yeah, me too. Even
Okay.
though I wouldn't, if this was a quiz show, I wouldn't have gone with this answer.
Okay, here we go. On the count of 3, 3, 2, 1.
No, we've both gone for 1,000.
Yeah.
Okay, you're both wrong.
Was it 3?
The answer is 4,000 years
Whoa.
before. Yeah, 4,000 years before the films.
Lots of leeway for more sequels.
There's a lot of things happen in between. What a game, though. What a game. I
I need to get back
love
on that.
game.
I've got
It's
it on
such a
my
good
list,
game.
my backlog.
I'm not sure how it would hold up now, but I remember when I played it back I played it back around about like 2007 because I played it. That game got me into Mass Effect because obviously it was made by the
Sure,
same company.
BioWare as well,
Yeah,
yeah.
so good.
I remember playing a lot of KOTOR back on the original Xbox.
So good. All right,
my heart.
question number 9. In
Mm.
Pokemon Red and Blue and Green and Yellow and Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, the ghost of a Pokemon haunts the Pokemon Tower in Lavender Town. But what Pokemon was it?
Got it.
The ghost of a Pokemon.
Let's go. Let's go.
What kind of Pokemon was it? Okay, you guys ready?
I'm ready.
3, 2, 1.
Cubone's mother, Marowak.
We've
Yeah,
both
I
written Marowak, open brackets, Cubone's mother, close brackets.
Exactly.
Well, because
Exactly
they never
what it
say
was.
Marowak, I don't think. I think they're constantly saying Cubone's mother.
Yeah, they do.
And
they
then
always
you
do
only
it.
really know for a fact that it's a Marowak.
Yeah.
When a
because you
Cubone
fight
evolves.
I played Let's Go Pikachu maybe 2 years ago now, and when I got to that scene, it's
Fun
really
game.
sad.
Yeah.
It's really sad.
It
Like,
is.
it's really sad. All right, awesome. Last question. Question number 10. Which wrestling game, according to Metacritic, is the best wrestling game of all time? Do you want 4 answers for this?
I kind of would, because I can't think of a single wrestling game.
WrestleFest!
Go on. Give their names.
I'll give the 4. Okay, here we go. No Mercy, WWF SmackDown 2, Know Your Role, WWE SmackDown vs. Raw 2006, WWE SmackDown Here Comes the Pain.
Damn it, they would have been my 4 guesses.
So, No Mercy, Know Your Role, SmackDown vs. Raw, Here Comes the Pain.
I think I know, weirdly, because it's the one that I have heard of.
Which
makes me think it must be fairly popular.
I know which one you're going to go for. I know which one you're going to go for in that case.
I'm thinking Jonny, Nintendo, N64 was No Mercy. But I'm thinking SmackDown vs. Raw 2006 was incredible. Here Comes the Pain was incredible. And SmackDown 2 Just Bring It was incredible.
They are the 4 best ones. They are the 4 best
okay, that makes sense. Okay.
So these are actually the top 4 best games.
Do they still make wrestling games?
Kinda.
The last 2 they've made have been pretty tragic at best. Let's just say that. Especially the last one on the Switch. It's unplayable.
Yes.
Alright. Okay, so you guys got an answer?
Yeah.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Oh.
Okay.
So I'll go from last to first.
Zach said SmackDown vs. Raw. I said SmackDown 2, Just Bring It. Just to let the listeners know.
Okay. So in last place, 85 out of 100, I guess, was SmackDown Here Comes the Pain, 85. SmackDown vs. Raw was in third place with a score of 86.
Was that the one you thought I was going to go for?
No, the one I thought you were going to go for was in second place, which is No Mercy, which is 89. Which means Know Your Role. Oh, you said Just Bring It.
I meant SmackDown 2 though. I
just realised.
I think Just Bring It is the third one.
Yeah, it is the third. I'll accept SmackDown 2. Because ultimately Dav won anyway.
Yeah, I was miles behind on this.
Dav won anyway, so I'll let you have that one. We do have a tiebreaker question though, just very quickly. And this is my how long to beat, but I'm going to start incorporating this into the questions from now on.
I like this.
So,
yes.
According to how long to beat, how many hours would it take the player to 100% complete Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate? The term used is completionist. So like, how long to fully complete?
Fuck, completionist. That's the one on Switch, right?
That is the one on Switch and the 3DS.
I've never played a Monster Hunter game, so
I've played Monster Hunter World. Those games are
ridiculous.
Deep.
Yeah.
Completionist, we're talking 3 figures.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna say. Okay.
All right, I'm ready.
Okay, you guys ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1.
Oh, okay. So I've said 150 hours. Dav has said 180 hours.
So the answer was 446 hours.
Wow. Wait, for point of reference, do we know what Breath of the Wild would be for completion?
I think Breath of the Wild is around 200. I think Breath of the Wild is like 100 normal style, but it's around 200. That's what I've seen like the average person put in.
I did that game in 65.
Oof.
You
completionist.
Like a completionist run?
Because I still haven't got any of the Korok seeds and stuff.
Yeah. No, I got all the main guys and Ganon.
Yeah. It's
those photos. Not about
that. Oh, don't. Oh, the photo. No. That's the one thing I just thought. Straight away, I was like, take photos of these things. I was like, nope.
Oh yeah. No, as soon as they said that, I remember just thinking you would have to pay me so much fucking money.
There's a streamer called Thunder Squid Thursday, great name.
Yeah, that's great.
Love that.
Who did like a massive Breath of the Wild sort of series of streams, and she would take pictures of the butts of every creature and enemy on the game.
Awesome. I love that.
Very good.
All right, then. That is the end of the podcast. That's podcast number 25.
Whoa. Who won the quiz?
Oh, you did.
I
said that.
Of course you did.
Yeah, sorry. Because I already said
Dick.
Yeah, you won with a score of 7-3.
7-3?
Yeah. 7-3.
This is not my week.
Not your week. I mean, I think you won the last week, didn't you? So it's game on. Game on.
Yeah, game on.
That is the end of podcast number 25. Thank you very much for listening today. If you enjoyed the show, then please follow us on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and Patreon. Tell your friends and give us a review or a comment. Check out all of the things we do. Keep checking out Dav with his streaming. Hopefully, Zach should be streaming tomorrow if you're listening to this on the day it comes out. And if you're not, if you're listening to it beyond Sunday, then check out his stream. That would really help kickstart Zach's streaming career, should we say.
Twitch.tv/videogamesahoy.
Ahoy. Thank you very much again. We are Video Games Ahoy, and we'll see you next week. Ahoy.
Tatty bye.
Tatty bye.